Hey there, I'm Alex, and I'm on a mission to uncover the hidden truths about philosophies that shape our lives. And one of those philosophies that's been making waves lately is Stoicism. Now, as someone who has spent more hours than I'd like to admit, poring over ancient texts and modern interpretations, so buckle up, because we're about to dive into the dark side of Stoicism that nobody's talking about. You know, when I first stumbled upon Stoicism, I thought I'd found the ultimate life hack. I mean, who wouldn't want to be calm, rational, and unaffected by life's ups and downs? It seemed like the perfect antidote to a chaotic world. But as I dug deeper, I realized that like any powerful tool, Stoicism can backfire if not used correctly. So today, I am going to share with you 12 rules of Stoicism that can actually do more harm than good if you're not careful. It's like having a Swiss Army knife, but not knowing which blade does what. You might end up hurting yourself instead of solving problems. And trust me, I've seen it happen. Let's start with rule number 1. Emotional suppression equals hidden burnout. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Alex, aren't Stoics supposed to control their emotions? Well, yes and no. The ancient Stoics taught us to manage our emotions, not suppress them entirely. But here is the kicker. Modern science is showing us that bottling up our feelings can be seriously bad for our health. Let me show you something. This is a quote from Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Sounds great, right? But now, look at this brain scan. See those bright red areas? That's what happens when we constantly suppress our emotions. It's like a pressure cooker ready to explode. In fact, a study in health psychology found that people who regularly bottled up their anger had a 30% higher risk of heart disease. That's right, trying to be too stoic might actually break your heart, and not in a romantic way. Moving on to rule number 2. Indifference can make you a robot. This one hits close to home because I've seen it happen to a friend of mine. He was a CEO who prided himself on his stoic calm. Nothing fazed him. Not market crashes, not employee conflicts, nothing. Sounds ideal for a leader, right? Wrong. His team started quitting left and right. Why? Because his calmness came across as cold indifference. He'd forgotten that empathy is just as important as resilience. It is like he was trying so hard to be a stoic statue that he forgot how to be human. Now, let's talk about rule number 3, the control lie. This is a big one, folks. There is a common misconception that Stoicism is about giving up control and just accepting whatever life throws at you. But that's not what the ancient Stoics taught at all. Take Seneca, for example. When he lost all his wealth and was exiled, did he just shrug and say, "Oh well, that's life"? No, he rebuilt his fortune and became one of the most influential advisors in Rome. The Stoics weren't about giving up. They were about focusing on what you can control and making the most of it. Rule number 4 is a tricky one. Memento mori can become obsessive. Now, memento mori, remember you must die, is a core Stoic principle. It's supposed to help us appreciate life and not sweat the small stuff. But here's the thing. Thinking about death occasionally is healthy, but fixating on it, that's a recipe for anxiety. A study in psychological science found that people who were constantly reminded of their mortality made more reckless decisions. It's like they thought, well, I'm going to die anyway, so why not? That's not what the Stoics had in mind at all. And then we have rule number 5. Stoicism doesn't equal glorifying suffering. This one really grinds my gears, because I see it all over social media. You know those hustle culture posts that say things like pain is weakness leaving the body? That's not Stoicism. That's masochism with a philosophical paint job. The Stoics weren't about seeking out suffering or working ourselves to death. They were about enduring necessary hardships with grace, not creating unnecessary ones. It is the difference between lifting weights to get stronger and hitting yourself with a hammer, because pain is gain. Now, I know you're probably wondering about the other 7 rules. Well, let me tell you, they're doozies. Rule number 6 can make you arrogant as all get out. Rule number 9, it'll have you trapped in the past faster than you can say, Marcus Aurelius. And do you want to even get me started on rule number 12? It is the reason why some people who try to be stoic end up failing spectacularly. But here's the thing. Stoicism, when applied correctly, can be an incredibly powerful tool for living a good life. It's helped countless people, including myself, navigate the stormy seas of existence. The key is understanding its nuances and not falling into these traps. So, What's the takeaway from all this? Stoicism, like any philosophy, isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a set of tools that need to be used wisely. Don't suppress your emotions. Learn to process them. Don't become indifferent. Cultivate empathy alongside resilience. Focus on what you can control, but don't obsess over death. And for the love of all that is good, don't use Stoicism as an excuse to glorify unnecessary suffering. Remember, the goal of Stoicism isn't to turn you into an unfeeling robot or a masochistic workaholic. It's to help you live a virtuous, fulfilling life in harmony with nature and your fellow humans. And sometimes, that means acknowledging the philosophy's limitations and potential pitfalls. Well, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these Stoic pitfalls. Have you ever fallen into one of these traps? Or maybe you have a Stoic success story to share. I'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the dark side of Stoicism, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more philosophical adventures. And a huge thank you to my patrons for making videos like this possible. If you'd like to support the channel and help me keep exploring the hidden corners of philosophy, check out my Patreon link in the description. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, even the wisest philosophers had their blind spots. So let's learn from them, but also learn to think for ourselves. Take care, everyone.